You know that moment when an old feeling suddenly punches through your chest, and you think, seriously? This again? You've done the work. You've journaled, meditated, gone to therapy, watched the videos, said the affirmations. And yet, there it is. The same fear, the same sadness, the same emptiness you were sure you had already healed. In that moment, most people make a silent conclusion. Something is wrong with me. My healing didn't work. But what if that conclusion is the real illusion? What if the emotion coming back is not a sign that you're failing, but proof that you're finally ready to go deeper than ever before? There is a quiet moment in every person's inner journey when something unexpected rises from within. It doesn't arrive with a dramatic entrance. It doesn't warn you. It doesn't ask for permission. It simply returns. An old emotion you were sure you had already healed, something you believed was long gone, suddenly appears like a familiar shadow stepping back into the room. And in that instant, you feel confused. You feel frustrated. You feel surprised that you're feeling something you thought you had already outgrown. It almost feels like you've betrayed yourself, like your heart is handing you a report card marked with a grade you weren't expecting. You find yourself wondering if all your progress was an illusion, if all the inner work you've done somehow wasn't enough. But the truth, whispered softly, is entirely different. An old emotion returning is not a sign of regression. It is not evidence that you failed your healing. It is not the universe punishing you. It is the universe preparing you. It is your deeper self inviting you into the next layer of your own truth. Healing does not remove emotions. Healing transforms your relationship with them. When you experience an emotion for the second, third, or 10th time, it doesn't mean the emotion is stubborn. It means the emotion is layered. And layers are meant to be understood slowly, patiently, at the pace your soul is ready for. Imagine climbing a winding spiral staircase. Each turn of the spiral brings you to a place that looks familiar. The same wall, the same angle, the same perspective. But you're not standing where you stood before. You are just one level higher. You're looking at the same point, but from a different height. That is how emotional healing works. Returning emotions are not repeated lessons. They are deeper lessons. You're not looping, you're ascending. Think about a person who believes they've finally healed their fear of abandonment. They go through therapy, do inner child work, understand their patterns, and practice self-worth. They truly feel stronger. Then one day, someone they love becomes distant. They don't respond. They change their tone. They become cold. Suddenly, the old fear comes back. The chest tightens. The stomach knots. The mind starts writing stories that were once familiar but now feel strangely outdated. And the person wonders, why am I feeling this again? Didn't I heal this? But the emotion didn't return to take them backward. It returned because they are finally strong enough to meet the deeper, raw, unfiltered version of that emotion, the version they were not yet ready to face before. The first wave of healing helped them survive. The second wave helps them understand. The third wave helps them integrate. Each wave touches a different part of their inner world. Sometimes, emotions come back because you healed the memory but not the meaning. You understood what happened, but you didn't yet understand the identity it created in you. Maybe you healed from rejection, but you didn't heal from the belief that you are unworthy. Maybe you healed from betrayal, but you didn't heal from the belief that love is unsafe. Maybe you healed from a childhood wound, but you didn't heal from the belief that you have to earn love by being a certain version of yourself. Other times, the emotion returns because the environment you're in now is safer than the environment where the wound was created. Your nervous system finally feels safe enough to release what it once had to suppress. Your mind might say, I'm done with this, but your body says, not yet. There's still one more part of this story to tell. And of course, sometimes the emotion reappears because you're entering a new chapter of your life that demands a stronger, more emotionally grounded version of you. Before you step through that door, life gives you one more opportunity to release what you shouldn't carry with you. Emotional resurfacing is often a sign that transformation is near. People tend to think emotions return when they're falling apart, but they actually return when they're rising. This is why returning emotions often feel slightly different. They are quieter. They are more specific. They point to a smaller area inside you with more accuracy. It's no longer a storm, it's a spotlight. It highlights something small but important, something that wants your attention. Emotions evolve as you evolve. The sadness you feel at 40 is not the sadness you felt at 20. It is wiser. It has more context. It carries the recognition of patterns, not just the reaction to them. There's a belief that emotions come back to overwhelm you. But the opposite is true. Emotions return because they trust you. They trust that you now have the awareness, the stability, and the courage to meet them with compassion rather than fear. An emotion that comes back is like a child knocking gently on a door, asking to be acknowledged. If you ignore it, it knocks louder. If you suppress it, it returns stronger. If you avoid it, it becomes persistent. But when you finally open the door and say, "I'm here, tell me what you need," the emotion softens. It melts. It reveals its message. And the message is rarely what you expect. Sometimes the emotion is not asking you to revisit the past. It is asking you to make a different choice in the present. Maybe it wants you to set a boundary you've been avoiding. Maybe it wants you to stop betraying yourself in small, daily ways. Maybe it wants you to recognize the version of you that still feels unworthy of love. Maybe it wants you to stop romanticizing memories that were actually painful. Maybe it wants you to let go of a narrative you've been repeating simply because it's familiar. Whatever the emotion wants, one thing is certain: it does not want to harm you. It wants to finish what it started. Emotions have life cycles. They come from an experience, rise to the surface, express themselves, and then dissolve. If you let them complete their cycle. Most people never complete the cycle because they distract themselves. They deny the feeling. They numb it. They avoid it. They try to fix it with logic. They pretend they've moved on. But the body remembers what the mind tries to skip. This is why returning emotions often show up in subtle ways first. A sudden tension in the jaw, a heaviness in the chest, a strange emotional déjà vu, a sense of fragility that appears out of nowhere. These quiet signals are invitations. They are saying, "Let's finish this story now." If you listen to them, the emotion transforms. If you ignore them, the emotion repeats. People misunderstand healing because they think it is supposed to feel like constant progress. But healing is not linear progress. Healing is relational progress. It's the relationship you build with your own inner world. It's the trust you develop with your own emotions. It's the safety you create inside yourself. And returning emotions are part of that relationship. It is the same way you revisit conversations with someone you care about. You don't repeat them because they weren't meaningful. You repeat them because they are meaningful. You revisit them at different stages of your life with different understandings. That is how emotions work. They return when something in your life is ready for a deeper truth. Returning emotions are also mirrors. They show you who you were and who you are becoming. They remind you how far you've come, not how little you've grown. An emotion that once knocked you down now barely makes you stumble. That's not failure. That's strength. Emotions revisit you to show you your progress. And because of that, the most powerful thing you can do when an old emotion returns is to pause and ask it gently, what part of you is ready to be understood now? That question opens a door inside you. It softens the experience. It shifts the energy. And the emotion, in its quiet honesty, begins to speak. It may show you that you have been too hard on yourself. It may show you that you have been carrying responsibility for things that were never yours. It may show you the places where you still abandon yourself to please others. It may show you where you still shrink to avoid conflict. It may show you where you still expect yourself to be perfect. It may show you the version of you that still believes love must be earned. And through all of that, the returning emotion becomes not an obstacle, but a guide, a teacher, a companion in your growth. It is here not to repeat the past, but to rewrite it. Not to reopen old wounds, but to close them properly. Not to weaken you, but to prepare you. So if you are feeling something right now that you thought you had already healed, breathe. Place one hand over your heart. And remind yourself that this is not the beginning of the journey. This is the deepening of it. You are not looping. You are evolving. You are not failing. You are awakening. You are not moving backward. You are simply being invited inward, into the places where the truth has been waiting patiently for you to arrive. Healing is not about forgetting the past. Healing is about understanding the past so deeply that it no longer defines your present. And every returning emotion is a doorway to that understanding. This is not regression. This is expansion. This is you becoming more whole. This is you meeting yourself with more compassion than ever before. This is the next step in your evolution, and you are ready for it. If this message resonated with you, please subscribe, like, and share this video. Your support helps the channel grow and brings more seekers into this journey of understanding themselves.